The match has swung into my opponent's favor. This is the first time they've taken the lead today. It's 13-11 for the home team. And now we have Nicky Pedersen and Chris Harris riding against Jimmy Nielsen and Mitch Shira. So again, my favorite pair in the racing cars. I already have 5 left from the previous heat. And this time I don't have much choice. These are the last 2 rider cars in my hand. So this is Shira, this is Nielsen, this is Pedersen, and this is Harris. And we have pretty interesting situation here. The home team managed to somehow squeeze out both their opponents. Pedersen defeated Shira by only 1, and the same goes for Harris against Nielsen. We move into the first lap, and it's battle in the straight. My riders will be charging opponents riding before them. Red cars are used to charge, so Shira will try to go along lane C, which was powerfully blocked by Nicky Pedersen, no wonder, and my opponent gets free racing card. Shira stays second. Now Harris has a chance to charge Shira, and Shira will try to defend also with pretty strong card A, B, D, the attacked lane B. So it's blocked. Free racing card for me. Nothing has changed here. And now chance for Jimmy Nielsen to overtake Harris. I have the last attacking card here. It's lane D, and Jimmy Nielsen successfully overtook Harris. I get free racing card. We have 3-3 in the heat, and we ride into the second lap. Again, it's battle in the straight. So the track now favors battles in the straight. We have Shira trying to charge Pedersen again along lane D, and this was pretty marvelous attack by Shira. Long side by my opponent, which is the indicator of how good this attack was. However, now, even despite the fact that it's time for Jimmy Nielsen to attack Pedersen, as you can see, I have no red attacking cards. That's why I must pass and allow Harris to attack Jimmy Nielsen now. However, I have some cards to defend with. I will try to defend the lanes B and D. Harris attacks lane A and D. D was blocked, but he sneaks along lane A. It's 3-3 in the heat, and in the third lap we have finish line. So this is the end of heat number 5, 3-3. After 5 heats, hosts are still leading by 2 points, and we move into the heat number 6, where Golop and Hancock will ride against Hans Nielsen and Jeremy Doncaster. We are after 5 heats, so the rider cards come back into our hands, and let's designate the riders for this heat. Take the racing cars. I have 3 at the moment. It's 4, 5, and here you can observe quite interesting situation. Only green defending cars. So for me it's best now to start very quickly. This will not be a problem as Hans Nielsen is riding in this heat, but Jeremy Doncaster must start. Would be better if he started alongside him. So 2 powerful starts by me, not so powerful by my opponent, so it's a waste of very good cards, since I could have won it with 4 and 5. And first lap, so I can only hope for the finish line. And yes, it is finish line. Disappointing by my opponent. Jeremy Doncaster and Hans Nielsen take 5-1 lead, and this is the end of heat number 6 and second series of starts. Welcome back. This is your score chart after 2 series of starts. Very bad from Chris Harris and Tomasz Golob, and quite impressive from Andreas Jansson. As for Glorious Past, quite consistent, maybe apart from Armando Castagna, but it's also not bad in this company. So I don't know if you remember, but we had finish line in the first lap the last time we rode. So again, we can replace as many rider cards as we wish. Very lucky for me, as I have only green colors, so I don't want to stay with that. I want to be able to attack in the straights. And here I have red colors. Let's see what happens in the meeting. We have 17-19 for the visiting team for the Glorious Past, and we move on to the next heat number 7. It's Holder and Impressive Jansson against Nielsen and Shira. Last time I started pretty fast, so this time I would like to get rid of some weaker cards. However, this is Nielsen and Shira, so again I will try to... no, I will do it like that. Shira with 10, Jimmy Nielsen with 6. This is Jansson, this is Holder. So this time Holder is first, then Shira, then Jansson, then Nielsen. First lap, it's battle in the bend. So my opponent starts as her riders in the lead. I hope that she starts with this color, not the sandy brown, as I won't be able to counter that. And it's not sandy brown, this is the color I wanted. And I will try to use the overtaking maneuver, which will enable my rider to move before his opponent. Waiting for my opponent's move. And this is the fall. She tries to make one of my riders fall off his bike, which I will counter with the engine failure in one of her riders. Wrong side, which gave me hope, but not. It was false hope. It's 4-2, so nothing will change in the heat, but my opponent probably just wants to protect herself from this engine failure. There's no point for me to use this effect, as I don't want the heat to finish right now. I accept this 4-2, and we move into the second lap. So after this battle in the bend, nothing has actually changed. So again, battle in the bend. This time we have less cards, so not so many choices. My opponent starts with the overtaking maneuver, and as you can see, I have quite interesting dilemma here, because I can reply to that with this effect, but in this case the hit will finish. On the other hand, if I accept this effect, my opponent will overtake me and it will be 5-1 to her. And then I could hope for the next straight or battle in the bend, but it can also be finish line. It's quite late in the heat, so it may finish. Therefore, I will unfortunately have to finish it at this point.
Pass.
My opponent, of course, accepts it gladly, as I can imagine. And that's the end of heat number 7. 4-2 for the home team. The teams are pretty evenly matched. After 7 heats we have a draw, 21-21. And we move to the heat number 8, where we will have Golob and Hancock riding against Ermolenko and Castagna. So we have pretty interesting duel of Americans here. I'm curious how it will end. First we draw the racing cars. I have 2, I need 3 more. We have used up our racing cards deck, so we prepared a new one out of the discarded ones, 4 and 5. Here are my cards, and let's see how Ermolenko and Castagna fare. The last time Ermolenko didn't start so strong, so this time I will make up for that mistake. As for Castagna, I won't have mercy on him. Let's see what happens. This is Golob and this is the other American, Hancock. So the Golob separated both Americans. In the first lap we have battle in the straight. So first Golob charges Ermolenko. I will try to defend lanes A and B. Golob charged along lane B and C, so Ermolenko didn't manage to block this attack. My opponent gets free racing card, and now we have the duel of Americans. Hancock charging Ermolenko. Ermolenko doesn't have much choice. He can block only those two lanes, A and C, and Greg Hancock sneaks along lane B, overtaking his compatriot. Free racing card for my opponent, and the hosts moved into 5-1 lead. We ride into the second lap, and again this is battle in the straight. Sam Ermolenko will have a chance to pay back for this previous failure, and he will go along lanes B and D. Hancock this time didn't manage to hold off this attack. Ermolenko moves back into the second position, gets pretty powerful defending card, and now Castagna tries to move before Hancock. Not much of a choice here in terms of lanes. However, I want to choose which effect I want to discard. In this case it will be the finish line. D. Castagna chooses lane D. Hancock blocks it, still riding after Ermolenko and not letting go. Lap number 3, and again this is battle in the straight. So in this heat everything happens in the straights. Ermolenko is trying to escape Hancock by charging Golob. This time again along lane D. Golob held that off, free racing card for my opponent, and I'm running out of my cards. Luckily I have the one with which Ermolenko will be able to defend from Hancock. My opponent chooses her card, and very spectacular attack by Hancock on Ermolenko. He chooses this only lane which wasn't blocked by me. Hancock moves before Ermolenko, again 5-1 to the hosts, and lap number 4 we have finish line. Quite exciting heat finishing with 5-1 for the home team.